This month in our Magnolia Roots campaign, we're recording important family stories with extended family members. Each week will be a different theme, and we'll provide a few interview questions for you that you can ask your family. Week 1, we'll be asking your eldest family members about life when they were our age. Week 2, we'll be asking them to describe their family homes. Week 3, we'll be asking them about their best childhood memories and experiences. Lastly, for Week 4, we'll be asking them about their favorite childhood games. We want to hear your family stories, so share your recordings with us on social media using our hashtag MagnoliaRoots. Hey everyone, it's Annalisa with the historic Magnolia House, and this is the first week of recording family stories for this month's Magnolia Roots campaign. So this week we want you to sit down with your oldest family member and ask them about what their life was like when they were your age. So this week I sat down with my grandpa and I asked him some questions, and I'm going to share some of that recording after this. What kind of things did you do for entertainment?
At 20 years old, I didn't have a thing to worry about. I just had fun. I had a bicycle.
Okay.
And I ride all over the country. I didn't want to stay home anymore. So when I got my vacation from where I work, I took my bicycle and I said goodbye to my family.
Do you remember what other people did though?
They love to go fishing and they love to go do swimming. Whoever had a little part-time job, they did that. But back home, you wanted money to go to the movies. You wanted money to go to dances or things like that. I saved my money because I had an idea that I would like to see the world, you know.
So I hope that gave you some ideas for when you ask your oldest family member some questions, but please share your recordings with us on social media using the hashtag MagnoliaRoots.
Hi everyone, I'm Nicole with the historic Magnolia House, and it's week 2 of recording family stories where we ask our family to describe their childhood home. And today I'm asking my sister some questions.
First of all, what did the childhood home feel like to you growing up?
Love and family, a place that I wanted to be as a kid.
Now, what did the childhood home smell like? For me, I think my earliest memory would be the wood stove and the honeysuckle bush that was outside attached to the rose bush outside on the front porch. I think that was a smell that was very, very memorable to me.
It's a tie between the honeysuckle bush and the persimmon tree.
Dinners at home, our great aunt was the one whenever our mom was at work who really, jumped in. She'd feed everybody. My thing was her cream potatoes and her biscuits. And I like the persimmon pudding though. That was pretty good.
I think my favorite was probably a tie between the homemade chocolate cake and the homemade cornbread. Oh my God. Between those two.
Hi y'all, it's Melissa with the historic Magnolia House here in Greensboro. This month for our Magnolia Roots campaign, we're encouraging folks to sit down with an older family member and record their family history. To do that, we'll be sharing tips and tricks throughout the month of questions that you may be interested in asking your family member. Today, I sat down and talked to my dad and asked him some questions about games that he played growing up in New York State.
Tell me a little bit about what games you played when you were a little kid in New York.
When we went on trips, like in our trailer, at night, that's how you passed the time, was by playing games. Monopoly, Risk, Sorry, Battleship, Rock'em Sock'em Robot, Chinese Checkers, Backgammon, and so forth. Oh, also, a little bit later on, Trivial Pursuits was something that we often played.
Were there any games that you played with your friends outdoors as a kid?
Hide and go seek was probably the most common, and tag. Also Marco Polo.
It is funny how a lot of those things don't really change.
I don't know if it's a function of the game board industry, but of course they often try to promote that this is a way to get together, and I do think it's true, right? If all family members are participating, it really does make for an enjoyable experience and also a very memorable one.
That is so true, and it's a time when you're not distracted by all the screens. You're just so focused on the activity.
I think that's part of why those games, persist, because they do have that very important social function.
I hope that y'all enjoyed these little snippets, and please feel free to share any videos that you take or any photos with the hashtag Magnolia Roots. We can't wait to see what y'all come up with.
Hey guys, Natalie with Magnolia House here. I am also here with my dad, Sam Pass, and we wanted to come to you today and talk about childhood experiences. So if you guys will grab a relative and please be sure to share your experience, take a couple of minutes and just talk about a childhood favorite. We'd love for you to join us. So Dad, tell us about your favorite holiday and what your favorite gift was.
My favorite holiday when I was growing up was Christmas, of course. Although we were very poor and Mother couldn't get us what we necessarily wanted, it was always fun because I'd get something and me and my childhood friends would have the opportunity to play together with those things. One of my most memorable things was the pair of skates that I would get every year, because we would go up to the skate rink in Morningside or in my community, which was a village, and hundreds of children would be up on the skate rink at the playground skating, and it was just memorable. Oh man, it was just special. Also, me being born in December, and at the time that I was born, Mother, which was close to Christmas, my brothers and sisters didn't get anything that year but me. I was their Christmas gift, and they told my mama, "Ma, don't worry about getting us anything for Christmas because Sammy is here now, and we'll just let him be our Christmas present because we know you can't afford to get us anything." One Christmas, my brother George bought me a transistor radio. It was a Zenith radio. And man, I thought that was cool because the transistor radios was like the boom boxes back in those days, right? And you just put it to your ear, you just play it and listen to your favorite radio station. In our case, it was WEAL. I was just totally impressed and happy because I was one of the few kids that had a transistor radio.